Okay, I'm here with Mike Kalin. He's the principal race officer for the Techno 293 North American Championship. Mike, what do you got in your hands?
The perpetual Round the Rock trophy, which has been out of circulation since 1985 when Chris Radkowski won it.
And when was this first one?
A long time ago, 1974.
Nice, nice. So cool. Tell us about the race tomorrow. What are we going to try and do?
We're going to try and get everyone back in one piece.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost, but we're doing a race starting off the beach, just to the west of the club.
Okay.
We're going to race, I think there's one mark, just to leave the green Alcatraz mark on your right, rounding the rock. That'll all be a broad reach, I'd say. So it's mostly a run, it will be, and then rounding the rock, then beating back up along the shore tomorrow. Pretty
nice.
Challenging stuff.
Cool.
We did it with our junior program the other day in 420s. It was a bit of a disaster. Hopefully it goes a little better tomorrow.
Okay, cool. How's the racing been for the event so far?
Pretty cool, pretty cool. High level for sure at the top end, and I'm seeing a lot of improvement at the bottom end. So it's been a lot of, people are making strides. It's good to see.
How many races did you get off today?
5.
And how was the breeze blowing?
Not its typical self. It didn't fill in until the last 2 races. So we had 12 to 15 early, and then 18 to 20 for the last couple.
Nice. And the flood started kicking in, right?
Indeed. Yep. Right along the shore here, and it made the both the start and the finish really tricky.
Yeah.
The tacking angles on the Technos are really broad, and coupled with the flood, it made it really tough to make it through the gate of the start line and the finish line.
And so people were triple tacking at the windward mark, right? 2 people were.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So what could people do to not triple tack? What's some of the hot local tips?
I would say overlay, but from what I saw, they were plenty overlaid. Geez, I don't know. Maybe. What are the tricks?
Well, tell us about the current. How does it first fill in, and tell us about the river effect and the ebb and the flood.
Yeah, well, so when it first fills in, it's going to hit you really hard along the shore.
Okay.
And there'll be some relief, believe it or not, out in the bay where there'll still be some leftover ebb.
Okay.
So as the flood just hits, you want to beeline it out to the middle where there's some leftover ebb and avoid the shore. But there comes a time when the flood works its way out into the middle, there'll actually be some current relief on the shore. So that's a really big trick. Some of the best sailors have a hard time figuring out. But depending on the time of the day, you either want to go really far out or really hard in.
And if you really wanted an accurate estimate of the tide, would you look at tide books, or how do you figure it out? What are some of the telltale signs?
The tide charts are not all that accurate. You kind of have to go from observations. Some of the telltale signs, you'll know when the early flood hits because you'll see it on the shore as you're launching. You'll see it really flat water. Fills in at about 2 or 3 knots right along the shore. And then you just notice that current shear shift across the course. And once it's beyond you, then it's probably time to stop going for the ebb and hit the shore.
Nice.
It's a lot of looking at what the water's doing.
What's the current doing right now as we speak?
Yeah, you were just talking about this before. It looks like, I'm just looking at a boatway out there, it looks like it's still flooding in the middle. Now it's doing the opposite, and it looks like the ebb is hitting us. I'm just looking at the B mark here. It's certainly not flooding, and just judging, I don't think it's ebbing, but just judging by the chop that's building up already on the shore, it looks like we've got the early ebb just coming up the shore. It's a really mild ebb today, though, so you don't really notice it as much as the flood.
And what's the tide prediction for tomorrow?
We're going to be ebbing later in the day, so hopefully we can do this round the rock race with some ebb to get us back up here.
Great.
It'd be tough to do without that.
Hey Mike, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.